Oh, hi, Purity.
Hello, Claire.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. So, welcome to Upepo Voices.
Thank you.
So, would you give people a brief introduction of what you do and who you are in this community?
Awesome. First of all, thank you so much for having me here.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a pleasure to, have conversations that would, have an impact on somebody here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very, very grateful for you guys having me.
Yeah.
So I am cybersecurity professional, and
Mm-hmm.
specifically currently I do work as a SOC analyst.
Mm-hmm.
And by SOC, I generally mean a security operations center. So what that basically means is I'm involved in monitoring and investigating incidents that do come in
Mm-hmm.
across different client environments. So
Yeah.
basically, I'm supposed to look at what is happening, determine if it's a real issue or not, escalate it accordingly, and
Mm-hmm.
then, document what my findings are. So that's just a brief overview of what I do currently.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I did work as a cybersecurity instructor. So
Okay.
that involved teaching people,
Mm-hmm.
foundational concepts of what
Mm-hmm.
cybersecurity is all about and lessons they can apply, in their
Mm-hmm.
careers. Yeah.
So, will you walk us through a brief of how you arrived to being a cybersecurity analyst since you
Mhm.
finished school?
So in campus,
Mm-hmm.
I did BSc in mathematics and computing.
Okay.
And as I was learning, I remember I just told myself, when you're thinking about what you'll specialize in later,
Mm-hmm.
I just told myself because what we were doing mostly had to do with mathematics, and that would mean I'll become a teacher eventually. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, no, that's not my area to, explore. So I told
Yeah.
myself, I know I want to specialize in things to do with computers. And at the time, I knew there's something called networking,
Mm-hmm.
there's security. I didn't even know it was cybersecurity. I just said security and
Mm-hmm.
AI.
Mm-hmm.
So I just left it there. I didn't even think through it much.
Yeah.
So in my internship, I did land in an opportunity that allowed me to explore the networking aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it. I actually loved it. So that had to do with setting up network infrastructures,
Mm-hmm.
CCTVs, the land themselves and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I also happened to do a bit of it after campus. Immediately after I finished my campus, I got an opportunity to do a similar thing and also end user support. So it was
Mm-hmm.
basically networking and support.
Yeah.
So I did that for like almost 2 years after campus.
Mm-hmm.
But while in there, I realized this is not the area for me. I don't think this is something I would want to do long term
Mm-hmm.
because, to be very honest, end user support especially doesn't have a lot of growth opportunities
Mm-hmm.
because it's you going to help users turn on their laptop because they probably forgot to do that or
Yeah.
connect the Wi-Fi properly or, the
Mm-hmm.
normal end user problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, there's something else I told myself I'll do. So out of curiosity, I just, said I'll actually want to do, get into security and see what it is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, not even 2 weeks later, because I mentioned this to my friends, and not even 2 weeks later, one of my
Mm-hmm.
friends sent me like a flyer to apply to a boot camp for
Mm-hmm.
cybersecurity.
Yeah.
And I think that's just how I ended up in security because now from that boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
it's been security all the way, and I love it here.
That's a beautiful story. And
Thank
now
you.
that you are a cybersecurity analyst throughout your career, what would you
Mhm.
say is one of the most defining moments so far?
Um, there's really no like one particular moment I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me it's just small realizations. First of all, even starting as an instructor,
Yeah.
um, you quietly realize that you do have really much influence
Mm-hmm.
as an instructor because you're responsible for shaping the people you're training. You have to give them proper foundations so that even later in their careers, they would say, I really had a good foundation in the cybersecurity space. I got this guidance and this guidance, which has helped me through my career. And for me, that was instrumental because I saw it as a way of giving back, because the boot camp that I did go through has been the foundation. It was the foundation for me, and it has really worked for me in a lot of ways. So I think those small realizations, and then now as a SOC analyst, the realization of the responsibility you hold, because if you're monitoring client environments, if you misjudge a client, an incident, if you don't look at it properly, you would end up exposing your client to a probable real attack. And that's not something you'd want to do, because of course, in a way, you would end up responsible, and there's no telling what would happen after that. And nobody wants to expose their clients to a cyber attack. There's a lot of pressure there. Yeah.
And now coming to today's theme, we are talking about the lesson the lesson that changed my work. What do you understand by that theme?
I think for me, it just means a point where I understood really what my responsibility is. And by that, I mean what I do or don't do. And it doesn't just affect me. See, as an instructor, if I'm not so keen on training my students properly, it means they don't have a proper foundation. As a SOC analyst, my clients or our clients depend on us to investigate properly, to tell them what is happening, to guide them on, if there's an actual incident for them, to guide them in responding to that incident. So it's about what I do or don't do will not just affect me. It's going to affect the people I interact with.
Okay, and walk us through the experience of you being a trainer. Paint a picture of what that looks like.
So I did that for almost 2 years, and I did it in two separate institutions, and I trained different people at different levels. So there was a time I trained students who are immediately out of campus, out of high school, this period where they're waiting to be admitted to university and all. I did train those. I did train students who are in campus already. So they're probably doing an IT-related course, and they've heard about cybersecurity. So they want to, get skills on this, and then they can use it later as they go along and specialize. And I've also trained people who are, working. They've probably realized in their current roles, they need to either upskill or they are moving to different areas of career altogether.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I would say all those experiences were different, because training a student who is straight out of high school differs very much from training a student who is, in campus, or training somebody who is already working. So I think for me, it put me through the ringer, because now it means I have to really understand how to deliver the content to these different people, and make sure that they understand, and make sure that they do not mismatch. Yeah. And make sure that the concepts I'm training them will be very useful to them, whenever they choose to actually pursue careers in cybersecurity. So yeah, it really challenged me to actually do more studying myself, because I would need to understand the best ways to explain simple concepts to, or to explain concepts in a very simple way to these students who's just left high school. I can't bombard them with, very technical jargon for cybersecurity. And ametoka tu kusoma biology, you get. So it really challenged me in that aspect, and I am so grateful, because it pushed me to actually learn a lot. And as you're learning and teaching, it becomes stuck with you more. So it was a good experience for me.
Throughout that experience, what is that one thing that stood out for you that you learned about yourself?
That I could be patient eventually.
Okay.
I've always been a very impatient person. I think that's one of the experiences that taught me to be very, very patient. because there was a time I told myself I would never become a teacher because I think I'll beat up my students.
Yeah.
Because ain't no way I'm teaching a concept today, and then tomorrow you come, you don't even remember what we said yesterday. Like, my guy, what were you doing in class? You get.
Yeah.
So I told myself, and God works in very interesting ways.
Yeah.
I said, I can never become a teacher. I don't have the patience to deal with students. See, God, I became an instructor as my first role in the cybersecurity space. So it really needed me to be very patient with people because, first of all, different people have different understanding capacities and different people understand information differently.
Yeah.
So I really needed to be patient and understand each person. If I'm dealing with a particular student, huyu ni sharp, huyu najua hata nikimpea much more resources, they will be sure to go and research.
Yeah.
Huyu mwingine, they take their time to understand, but if I explain the concept here and there, if I remind them every now and then, and I try to jog their memories with even exercises every now and then, probably it will, make them understand the concepts better. So I think I realized, okay, kumbe I can be patient. Or rather, it just forced me to start becoming patient. Yeah. Yeah.
And now, taken from that experience, is there something that you learned from there that changed the way you approach your work today?
Yeah, I try to not just be good enough, giving it your all, as a security analyst or a SOC analyst, as an instructor, or whatever capacity you find yourself in, whatever role you've been entrusted to do.
Yeah.
Don't just try to be good enough. Give your best. Because in giving your best, you're building trust with these people. Because of course, for students, they expect that you got it. You know what you're doing. As an instructor, they trust you. Clients will also trust you with their environments. So if you're not delivering up to your 100% potential, then you're doing yourself a disservice, and even the people who trust you a disservice. So giving it your all has been one of the main things that I've moved with in my roles. Yeah.
And in your experience so far, is there something that you did not give your all that you experienced? And what that led you to making sure that you, in response, give your all to every other job that came after that?
So I'm just gonna be very honest here. So in my instructing job when I was starting, especially now when I was starting training people, and I'm realizing the people I'm training here ni watu wametoka to high school. So I don't need to train them at deep stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And I trained the first batch. I'll say they were the I don't want to say guinea pigs for me. They're the people I used to gauge myself. You get. So of course I did not to give them 100%, and then also let me say whenever I was working, there are certain things that will even incentivize you to do your best. Yeah. And some of those things are not met. So I was like, why am I even dying to give my best? And I'm not getting anything close to, the best in return.
Yeah.
So why should I do it? But then I realized, given whatever I need is not being met. But now these students, after they leave, or actually, I think it was during one of those classes, I think we were nearing the end of the course, or during the presentations, because what usually used to happen is after the students do the course, they did have presentations. So they build projects, and then they would be gauged how well they did. So I noticed they were really struggling when doing those projects. And I was like, I was not very keen to follow up with them. Guys, are you understanding these concepts or not? Do you want me to explain this again or not. I was just
Mhm.
like, I've trained, I've done my job. If you want to learn, that's on you. If you don't, that's on you again. So
Mhm.
there was that follow-up. I was not
Mhm.
burdened until I saw how they were doing with the project. I was like, yo, these ones, I really needed to have followed up with them.
Mhm.
And despite whatever I'm not getting, I mean, they have their whole future ahead. And it's not worth to not give the best over something that could change eventually. So
Mhm.
I think those subtle moments just made me realize, let me just
Mhm.
do my best. I'll get my results thereafter, or I will
Yeah.
I will gain enough for me to actually pivot from here and go somewhere else.
Mhm. And I
Yeah.
think that's a very important lesson to learn, because
Mhm.
now I imagine, or rather I assume that it has come in handy. The lesson that you learned has come in handy in the way you approach your work today. So
Yes, it has.
now that you are what I would consider successful cybersecurity analyst, what would you say? What is the work that you put into that so that you can be a distinguished cybersecurity analyst?
First of all, thank you. I am still
Mhm.
trying.
Mhm.
I'm still trying, but along the way, there are things I've picked up.
Mhm.
Among those I've already described. So giving it your all, kujituma
Mhm.
nayo ni 100%,
Mhm.
realizing the influence that you have over the people that you either come across, the people you're teaching, the
Mhm.
people monitoring the environments for. Even these platforms I get to speak. For
Yeah.
me, I am using my voice,
Mhm.
and when somebody hears that voice, do they hear crap? Do they hear something that is useful to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But also other things that have stood out for me or helped me personally
Mhm.
are working with people.
Mhm.
Community is very, very essential in building
Yeah.
your career in cybersecurity,
Mhm.
because I think without community, I would not be where I am at.
Mhm.
Starting with the boot camps that I was in, we were several of us, we were a huge number, but I created rapport with some of them, and I've been able to, create like a close-knit circle of
Mhm.
people we are still within the same cybersecurity. Actually,
Mhm.
there are two people in particular who
Mhm.
sort of started the journey together,
Mhm.
and it's interesting that in our journeys end up being very similar.
Yeah.
Like, we do not intentionally want to end up how we end up,
Mhm.
but you find us like at one point, tulianza kusoma back in 2022, yeah,
Mhm.
and we would study together, help each other, and then at one point we also worked together. Then we
Mhm.
stopped, kila mtu akaenda kivyake. I became an instructor, others just became freelancers. We
Mhm.
delved in, mwingine akaenda kusoma,
Mhm.
but eventually, we realized that we ended up as SOC analysts.
Mhm.
Strange, because none of us even knew. Like, we were meeting and then we were telling each other, by the way, I got this role. I'm a SOC analyst. I got
Mhm.
it fast. And then after a while, my friend was like, yo, I also got a role and I'm a SOC analyst. And then after a while again, our friend was like, yo, I got this role still as a SOC analyst. So it's just interesting. But what I'm trying to drive at is
Mhm.
building together with people. Do
Mhm.
not work in isolation. And I've
Yeah.
also seen that in my current role, actually.
Mhm.
You cannot work as an island. You need
Yeah.
people. And
Mhm.
I'm so grateful for the culture at my company because it encourages the teamwork. Do
Mhm.
not be afraid to ask questions.
Mhm.
We are told even now by our seniors or the people who are above us, our supervisors, if you do not know how to investigate an incident, it doesn't matter that you've been here for how long, just
Yeah.
ask,
Mhm.
you know, just ask. So there's no
Yeah.
shame in asking, there's no shame in consulting, there's no shame in asking for help. Yeah.
Mhm.
The other thing I think is staying visible or building your brand.
Okay.
You yourself as a professional, you're the brand.
Mhm.
You're the one who is going out there and speak about, what to other people who are trying to learn. You're the one who is going to teach people on certain things. You're the one who is going
Mhm.
to dictate how certain things are going to run.
Yeah.
So you have to stay visible. You have to
Mhm.
create your brand and try to make it as visible as possible. And
Yeah.
what I mean by that is
Mhm.
do not go and learn and then keep it to yourself. Nobody will know that you're actually learning. Learn and then tell us about it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because a recruiter, not necessarily myself, but a recruiter out there will be like, I've seen this person, they've been doing this and this and this, so they must have knowledge in this and this and this. Or I've seen this person and I think they'll be suited in this role. And in that, you will get an opportunity to, even either get an opportunity, learn on the job, or even get an opportunity that you're actually very well suited for.
Yeah.
So usisome alafu ujieke. Soma but tuambie unasoma pia. And one of the major tools that have helped me personally is LinkedIn, staying visible on LinkedIn. And that is a lesson I picked in the bootcamp that I was in. So they pushed us. Tell us you're learning. Tell us what you're learning. Do articles, do posts here and there. Da, 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 da. And it was daunting at first because LinkedIn is not easy to manage. Coming up with content, creating those posts, and staying visible and staying active, and then you have to balance that with your other jobs. I mean, it's a lot, but I would say that has truly come in handy for me because all the roles I've gotten, the instructing one, and also the current role I have, they've all been because somebody has seen me on LinkedIn. And they're like, I saw your profile, or a friend of mine has seen my profile and they've referred me to a thing. This role, a friend of mine just texted me, hey, I know you do this and this, and this company is looking for cybersecurity experts.
Yeah.
And they listed a list of certifications there that I didn't even have at the time. And they were like, refer people to them. And I was like, I think I'm going to refer myself first, and then I'll refer other people. And that's exactly what I did. I sent my application and then I also referred other people. And I'm lucky I got the job. I did an interview. They were like, fine, we see you have proper understanding of security concepts. So whatever you need to learn, you learn on the job. And it's been a bliss, I can say. So staying visible is important. Yeah, and putting yourself out there. Also be part of communities because communities are where you'll find help. Opportunities are posted there.
Yeah.
Have you ever come across, how many times do you even come across an advertisement here, cybersecurity position?
Very rare.
Yeah, because they usually posted in communities. As in tunatafutananga tu sisi wenyewe. You see, hata huyo mwenye alikuwa anajua kuna opportunities kwa hii kampuni, alitafuta mimi mwenye anajua niko huko ndani, we refer watu. Jue ndo unajua watu. You get? So if you're part of a community, it will be easier. Because either somebody will handpick you and they're like, I think you're fit for this position. Or somebody akuja to post, hey guys, I'm looking for this and this and this. Then you apply, you try your hand. Yeah. So I think those are some of the key lessons that I would share that have worked for me.
Okay. And if I was to take you back a little, walk us through the time frame that it took since you started learning, since you joined the boot camp, and until you got your first job, that period.
Yeah, that was a very interesting period. I started in 2022 March. Yes, 28th March, I think so. Okay. And on this boot camp, it's good I disclosed that when I applied, I didn't get in, by the way. I failed. And I don't know if I failed the interview or what happened. Later, I asked the founder, we were with her somewhere. She was like, I think you're overqualified. Nikacheka too, but I was like, I failed. But what they did, they had a parallel community. So if you get in the program, you will be attending classes, you'll have like a mentor, following up with you. But now in the parallel community, what they will do, they'll give us resources to read on our own. So as we had the resources minus the classes and mentors. So what we used to do is you're given the content at the end of the week, then we'd have like discussions and, go through the content. So what the trick was to at least pair up with somebody who is in the program already. And I remember we had formed a group here to kwa this parallel community, and then one person bumped into the program. So I was like, who you? I'm sticking with this one. And true enough, she's still my friend today, very good friend. She's one of the people I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got in. It ran from March to October, I believe. And
Mm-hmm.
in between these periods, I was still working as an IT person. So networking and support.
Mm-hmm.
I was close to now the 2-year mark within that period. I
Mm-hmm.
left that role in June. Yeah,
Okay.
June, yes, June.
Mm-hmm.
I went to another company
Mm-hmm.
um, as an IT administrator,
Okay.
still learning. So I'm balancing the studies and work because a girl has to live, a girl has to pay her bills.
Mm-hmm.
And in that company as an IT administrator, I worked for 3 months
Mm-hmm.
and then left.
Mm-hmm.
And being a Gen Z, we don't tolerate crazy work environments.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think this place is for me. I actually left without a backup plan. I was like, my guy, this doesn't work for me. So I
Mm-hmm.
left. No
Mm-hmm.
backup plan, no idea where I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I had just had enough. So I left there July, August, September. I left September. So we're still in the program. I'm still learning. So I was like, hey, I'll use this time as I'm looking for jobs to also maximize on the studies. By this
Mm-hmm.
time, I think we had integrated the people who had stuck on the parallel program and the actual program. We had integrated so much. We were
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I think we had even started joining their classes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, at least something is working. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
just focus on what is working and
Yeah.
start doing applications.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I did applications. I sent
Mm-hmm.
applications.
Yeah.
Now, October imeisha, we have graduated. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, now I think I have, I have a certificate to show, I have knowledge, and I can apply for cybersecurity roles.
Yeah.
And I did, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing came of it.
Mm-hmm.
So ilifika point I was like, huku kwa cybersecurity, it's not budging. I don't know what is happening. At the time I'm also new, so
Yeah.
sina ati watu najua nitaambia, hey, by the way, I'm looking for a role and opportunity, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did my applications. Yeah, nilituma applications mingi. I can't even count them, but I know they were a lot. And
Yeah.
I have proof to show how many I sent on my laptop. I've kept them to today to
Mm-hmm.
just remind myself of those times, because they were
Yeah.
tough times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that required me to adopt and do a whole other side hustle because you have to pay rent. Nobody is going to
Mm-hmm.
come in and save you and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
sent out a lot of applications,
Mm-hmm.
and none of the applications I sent actually bore fruit.
Okay.
The role that I got was out of a referral. So it's somebody who I in campus, they had followed my journey, they're in software development now. So I'd
Okay.
followed my journey, and then they just happened to have worked with somebody in that company, and they were looking for an instructor. So he was like, there are people who are looking for an instructor, and specifically a lady. And since I
Mm-hmm.
know you've been in this space, I think
Mm-hmm.
you'll be a good fit. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, wako wapi? I sent
Mm-hmm.
out my application, was called in for an interview, did the interview, and yeah, I got in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a tough 6 months, I would say.
And now
Yeah.
that, in my assumption, most people are stuck with qualifications, but they're not. It's not translating in the job market. What will you tell people who are in that period?
First of all, do not give up on sending those applications.
Mm-hmm.
But also try different strategies. One of the things I still didn't give up on was the visibility aspect.
Okay.
Because remember, again, one of the things that we were being pushed on in this bootcamp is to stay visible. So I
Mm-hmm.
just kept doing, I have the time. So I'll now do the LinkedIn post articles here and there, do posts relating to cybersecurity, share what I've learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think even in the search, do not
Mm-hmm.
forget to make sure that you're visible.
Mm-hmm.
And also now what I'd mentioned earlier, still being part of communities. Seek
Yeah.
those communities out. Go for those events. These are free events that happen every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you're part of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be a bit easier for you to be able to navigate, and also put yourself out there and actually tell people, hey, I'm looking for a role in this and this. Also use LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I think it has that option open to work. So do not be afraid to use it. Tell people you're actually looking for a role. Yeah. And also, I think another trick is also, if you can't get through the door by a cybersecurity role and you have skills in another area, get through the door with that. Get through the door with what you have. And then once you've gotten in, you can always pivot to that department of your choice. I think that's something that has also worked for some people. And it's a strategy I had wanted to apply, because through my applications, ilifika point nikacha ku apply now for cybersecurity roles alone, because niliona they are not budging. So because I was like, yeah, I'm experienced in IT and networking, so I could get in through that and then find my way to a cybersecurity department. So try other ways of getting in. Ukishaingiza kichwa hivi, you can navigate.
And assuming there's someone who has not heard of LinkedIn, if they were to listen to your conversation today and they find the app, what would you tell them? How would they start? What do they do?
Answer to just start from where you are. If you're in the space, you are learning, I would assume. Whatever you're learning through, kama unatumia hata platform ka TryHackMe kusoma, solve a room, then post about it. What were your key lessons? I did this and this, I learned this and this. Pick a path, or if it's a topic, pick a topic of choice, educate people on it. Yeah. Even simple things as just cybersecurity hygiene. We assume most people know, but most people don't. Because we see people still making very, very common silly mistakes, sorry to say. And humans still remain to be the weakest link in attacks. So educate people. Make it a mission to educate people. So educate people and also let people know that that you're also learning. Yeah. So we usually were told to strike a balance between creating awareness posts and also creating posts that demonstrate your knowledge in the field. Yeah. So start from where you are. And I believe most of those people hajasikia LinkedIn sijui anaishi wapi. But I've also realized that most people don't utilize LinkedIn. I used to tell my students that as well. LinkedIn is going to work magic for you if you use it correctly. I know at first people are discouraged by the engagements. But despite that, those 7 people who are going to see that post, there's somebody who is taking notes. So do not be discouraged by the engagement that you get. Hata ukipata 2 likes on your first post, start. Ukienda kwa LinkedIn yangu, if you were to compare the engagement I've had over the past few months and what I used to have before, I mean, you can't even tell the difference. Yeah. So it's just a matter of just start. And do not wait until you know enough. Because you will never know enough. Especially in this field, there's always something new to learn. And you'll always feel like, yani, unaona vile tunasemanga syllabus inasonga haraka. It does in security, it does. Because umemaliza tu kusoma hii and then something new has come up. And then you're like, what? So we're also usually very keen to tell people, because cybersecurity is also wide. One of the things I tell somebody is do your research first, understand the different fields in the space, and then determine what piques your interest, and then follow that. Because as a SOC analyst, right now, ukiniambia nianze kufanya mambo ya GRC, mi nasikia kama unanipea story, because yes, I know what GRC is. GRC is governance, risk, and compliance. I know what it entails. But you want me to start dealing with all those regulations and laws, and I don't even know where to start. So I can't even claim to know everything. there is cloud security. I know something about it, but I'm not like a proper expert in that. You get?
Yeah.
So pick what piques your interest, go along with it. Focus on it, upskill in it, become very good at it. But also don't neglect these other things because they are also instrumental. But at least have something that you are focusing on. Because it's also, so I think the other thing that discourages people is the amount of information that you come across in security, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Utasoma hadi uko like, and this has happened to me, by the way. But I think it's because of also the program that I was a part of. So I was for the past 12 weeks from this week. I was part of a boot camp, another one for API security. And let me tell you, that was an intense program.
Okay.
And now balancing that with a full-time job, that was not easy. Yeah. Tulimaliza hivi nikajiambia, I am taking a full month break. Sitaki kusikia karibu na mimi atisoma, sitaki.
Yeah.
I'll just do my work and rest, because I thought I would go crazy. So kusoma haitawaisha. And I keep telling people, hata watu naona wameishi kwa field in 20, wako 15 years in, 10 years in, they still study. And you still see them taking certifications because it never ends. So pace yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. But also jitume. Because as zingine itabidi you stay up those nights, wake up early mornings, go through the ringer, go through it, and then at the end of it all, it still pays, I would say. Because for me, it does. It pays. Yeah. I
And
hope that's
speaking,
helpful.
yeah, that's clear. And speaking of working environments, what would you say is the ideal working environment for a cybersecurity analyst to thrive?
Okay. Ideally, when you think about a SOC analyst environment, we want large screens, headphones, and no disturbance, quiet environments. But that alone is not enough. I think for me, it depends. The work culture of a company can really dictate how tough or easy it is for you.
Yeah.
Because being a SOC analyst can easily make you burnt out. Because sometimes it's busy, especially if you're dealing with like a lot of clients, not just a single client.
Yeah.
It can get busy. So there's something we call alert fatigue. So that's having to deal with a lot of incidents within a time period. We work in shifts.
Yeah.
So I think the company culture is at the top of dictating how easy you have it or how hard you have it as a security analyst. So if for me, and it's not in just SOC, I think this is also another thing I've picked up. For me, if I'm interviewing, I'll really want to understand what the company culture is right now.
Yeah.
If say, and I'm not saying that I'm moving or anything, if I was to move from my current company, I don't think I would look for a company that doesn't have a work culture that is either close to or better than where I'm at. Because you see the effort they've put in the structure of how things are done.
Yeah.
Making sure that, yes, as an analyst, you will be tired, but you'll have enough rest time. Yeah. So it's, for me, it's the work culture of the company. Mostly, it dictates how good or hard you have it as a SOC analyst.
And if there is someone who is in a what we'll call toxic environment, what would you advise them to do?
Well, I would say just up and go, but don't do that. It would have been easy to do that for me earlier.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have to lose nothing at the time. But work on an exit strategy.
Okay.
If you realize this is a toxic work environment, mostly you will realize you don't even thrive. and there's no growth opportunity. Why? Because it's probably being stifled by somebody who is not even in your department. But I don't understand people sometimes. But anyway, work on an exit strategy. So do what you gotta do. Still give it your 100%. Don't say these people are just like this or this or this. No, give it your 100%, and then start sending out your applications. You don't even feel bad about it. Work within the what your contract stipulates. Go for those interviews. Do as many interviews as you can, or try something on the side, that will be instrumental in helping you to pivot to another place or company. So just work on an exit strategy. Don't just up and go, because that could hurt you in many ways. And mostly on your own personal survival, because tusidanganyane, we work to pay bills. We work to afford the lives that we live here. So just work on an exit strategy, but don't stay there too long. Unajua, if you also stay there too long, you also end up becoming bitter. You don't even realize. And then you also you forget about yourself. So you don't even feel the need to invest in yourself anymore. Until you realize other people work in companies where the companies pay for them to upskill. And then you're like, ukisikia hivyo unakasirika because unashangaa, what in God's world? Tuko wapi? Mimi niko wapi na huyu mtu? Tunaishi dunia same. So don't stay there too long, but also work on a proper exit strategy.
And in your experience, is there something that you wish you learned earlier on that could be very beneficial now?
I don't know. I think I've picked my lessons at the right time, or as I go along. Maybe just how much learning I would need to do. But I think that has not been like a tough adjustment for me, because I've always been a curious person. But if I'm telling somebody out there, one thing they have to expect, and this I used to repeat to my students a lot, because you say, in as much as I'm training you, I cannot come and spoon feed you everything. And that I know, because I've also had the opportunity to get trained. And I've seen it's not a matter of how good the instructors are or not. It's also a matter of how wewe mwenyewe unajituma. Because yes, I will give you the resources. I will even have classes. I'll even explain concepts. But ukishafunga kitabu, nafunga kitabu, no more practice, nothing. So I tell my students, I used to tell them, if you're going to survive in this industry, you better be ready to be a lifelong learner. Yes, you have to. That it's not even a question. Nasi tafadhali. At you can negotiate. No, you cannot. You will have to learn something always. And I like to give an example. If you go and look for Dr. Bright Gamili, he is the founder of one of the communities that I'm a part of, Africa Hakon. And he even has an academy now and all. There was a time he was saying, very recently, he says that every week he's always learning something new. And that would be very true, because first of all, he's always doing presentations every now and then. If you're doing presentations, you'll have to learn. You'll have to research, put together those presentations. So you'll always be learning something. Now, kama unataka kuspoon feediwa, this is not the career for you. Kama unataka kuhave fixes, this is not the career for you. Kama huwezi kaa chini, month after month, you're doing a course. This is not the career for you. This isn't. You just have to accept. There are a lot of certifications to earn. There are a lot of things to learn. There is always going to be a course. You will be part of companies like where I'm at, and I'm usually so happy for this. They're always encouraging us to upskill. We're even given the timeline. You have to do this and this and this course. Sasa niambie, mtu alifurahia kupata kazi, lakini ukifika ni kusoma hautaki. I mean, hata wewe utasaidikaje? You get? Somebody out there, cybersecurity is good, it's fun, it has a lot of opportunities, in fact, but you always have to be learning. You always have to be. Hakuna wakati utakaa tu hivi na hakuna kitu unalani. Yeah.
And what would you say? Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. I was to ask if there is someone experiencing a difficulty in the cybersecurity field, what would you tell them to, how would you advise them to navigate that space?
It depends with the challenge. But I always say, talk to someone. Talk to someone who's either been in the field before you or who has done what you want to do. Yeah, somebody who is just, been there and done that. Or at least is there and is doing that. Because as I said earlier, you can't survive as an island. You can't survive alone. So, just ask someone, talk to somebody. Answers, watu wako na majibu. And people are always happy to help. So I think depending on the challenge, talk to somebody. And what are the challenges? I'm trying to think of the challenges. But I think talk to somebody. I think that would be the best response. Talk to somebody. It would be either somebody who is doing it or who has done it before you. Yeah.
And if you were to summarize the lessons that changed your work, what would you say? At least 3.
3. First of all, being very keen on especially as a SOC analyst. One simple mistake could make you end up leaving your client open to being breached. So the keenness, you have to, the attention to detail, like you have to be very, very attentive to details when you're investigating incidents. The other one is teamwork, working with people and not being afraid to ask questions. Ask for help when you need it. Ask when you don't know. Ask. All right. And lastly, always give your 100, give the best that you can in the capacity you're at. And that will always allow you to, it will put you ahead, it will set you apart. And of course, also try to upskill yourself every now and then. Stay in the know.
And what is that one thing that is that you love about your job right now?
Well, what I love about my job, about my current role, first of all, I do love the work culture that we do have. It's a really, really good working environment for me. And also the whole collaboration energy that is usually like in our departments. And the ease with which you can access your supervisors and get help from them, and even your colleagues. Like that element of being able to reach out, in some companies you'll be like, oh, sijui hii supervisor atanifikiria aje. I even was laughing yesterday. Every small inconvenience I have, my supervisor mbio, I need your help. Can I give you a call? ASAP. And they are there, and I'll ask them, I need to do this and I don't know how to do it. Every little inconvenience, if it has something to do even with my own personal things, come on, is a HR mbio. I need this and this, I don't know how to do it and I'm having trouble. Or I will even ask a simple question like, what does this mean for me? And then it's so easy because even the superiors or the managers, they've made it easy for us to access them. So for me, top tier, the structure in this company and the working culture is it for me.
Yeah.
Even our shifts, the way they've designed it, it was 100% thought through. Like we were doing night shifts, and then now entirely I've been for the last almost 2 years I've been working nights, but they shifted that now. We are rotating and everything. And the first time I had the news, I was so pissed off. I was like, guys, do you know how long it took for me to get used to this thing, working at night and sleeping during the day? It had been so ingrained in my body. Like hata siko kazi, I can't sleep before 4 or 5 in the morning because that's what my body is used to. Hey.
Yeah.
Until I listened to how they had structured it, and I was like, yo, you guys are really onto something. Like they've really thought through how this
Yeah.
is going to work, how we're going to adjust again to
Yeah.
working days. And also they've put in enough time for you to rest so that you don't feel the burnout. So that even at the end of the day, kama umechoka, you'll have enough time for rest and you'll be very fresh for. So I think this working environment where I'm at currently, the culture, 100%, the structure, awesome. Yeah.
And what would you like the audience to remember you for?
Well, wow, that's an interesting question. What would I want them to remember me for? Um, I don't know. I think if you were to remember me, I would want you to remember me as a true living example of what visibility means for you in your career. Yeah. Because I keep telling people that's how I've never gotten a role at niliona iko advertised mahali nika apply. It's always the referrals. It's always somebody reaching out. Hey, I saw your profile on LinkedIn. Da, da, da. I feel like I could not engage you. Hata Elizabeth mwenye alinitoa LinkedIn. So it's for me, I'm a living proof of what visibility can do to your career. So stay visible. Stay visible. Let us know what you're doing. Build in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was our time for today. Thank you very much for sharing your story. I know for sure it's going to help a lot of people. You have given very practical lessons, things that people can follow through. So thank you very much. We really had fun even having you on our platform. We're really grateful.
Yeah, thank you.
And we would love to have you again and again and again because I feel like you have a lot more to offer.
I would be happy to come on again. It was a fun conversation, and thank you again, Elizabeth and Claire, for having me. And I hope this conversation is going to, help somebody out there.
Yeah.
And if anything, I'm always reachable on LinkedIn. You just look for me, Purity Gachuhi, you'll find me there.
Yeah.
Always happy to help. Yeah.
So it's bye for me.
Yeah.
So bye.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
Okay.